What's good, YouTube? Mario Devon, your YouTube uncle, back with yet another video. Man, I've been on a recording rampage tonight. This will be my third video. So this video, we're gonna do a little BTS. We have the Canon R5 and we have the Sony A7 IV. I'm not gonna call it a versus because I have both on the photo shoot and they are both doing their thing. But I wanna talk to you about some of the, the reasons why you may want something like the Canon R5 versus something like the Sony A7 IV. We're gonna just talk about pros and cons, kind of. All right, let's do that.
Again, like I said, I'm going to be using multiple cameras at once so I can get the shots as fast as I can. Let's see what we got.
So in this video, I have my friend Yulia. She's doing her thing. We have a natural light photo shoot, tennis court style, and I'm using that Canon R5 paired with a Sigma EF, okay, on the adapter, 50mm art lens. On the Sony A7 IV, I actually have my Sigma 35mm art lens 1.4. These are really old lenses. What I always notice when I have the Canon and the Sony cameras in my hand is like the Canon bodies always feel so much better. They feel fuller, you got a deeper grip. Just ergonomically, they just feel better. I'm not saying they look better, you got the top screen, but they just feel better. They feel like a more complete camera body. You got the joystick, you got the turns. It's a lot going on with these Canon cameras. You have really good touch interface. So the ergonomics on the Canon cameras always feel much better. And obviously the Sony cameras, I mean, they are very sharp, pointy. So I wouldn't say they're the most comfortable. So you're looking like for something that is a really comfortable, like beastly camera to use. Canon cameras, you cannot go wrong, especially with the Canon R5 that is just ready to go.
Actually, I'm gonna stay here. Love that shot. If you will, stay here. I'm gonna pivot this way so we can get this building. I want you to also pivot, like that? No. I just want you to shift over, walk, like move over to your right. There you go. Okay. You can have your ball back though. Very good. Very nice.
Sony cameras, their main thing that they just don't have right is going to be their EVF is going to be low quality and their screens are going to be low quality. So expect that when you take your photos to the computer, they're going to look 10 times better on the computer versus they looked at the camera. It's just true, guys. All right, and I love my Sony A7 IV. It's a fan favorite, okay? But it's just the truth. Let's talk about just some of the techie stuff, okay? So with the Canon, that shutter is just fast, okay? If you ever shoot sports or you shoot anything that's, high intensity and you just need speed, the Canon R5 is going to be speed. But again, that is $4,000. The Sony A7 IV is going to be $2,500. You can probably get it for even cheaper than that now. But you have a little bit of speed, but I'm telling you that 20 frames per second from the Canon R5 is ridiculous, especially for such a high megapixel sensor. So if you're looking for something with a little bit more speed and you're willing to spend that money on the photography side, Canon R5 all the way. But if you wanted to save money and still get some really, really good performance, Sony A7 IV, for me, it is such a clutch thing.
Love that a lot.
So now let's go to like image quality. Image quality, 45 megapixels, you love it. But that 33 megapixels from the Sony, I'm gonna be honest, I'm putting photos on the screen and everything so you can see them, and it's really hard to tell the difference between the two. You'd have to scroll in. You have 45 megapixels versus 33 megapixels. I'm telling you, 33 is a sweet spot. You don't get humongous file sizes. That Canon R5 does have sizable, file sizes, so be ready to have some hard drives going to work, okay? But overall image quality, they both are really, really good. I would say that the Sony is definitely punching far above his weight class, like just way far above his weight class. The only other thing, I guess, we call it subjective, is going to be the color science. Right out of the camera, obviously, the Canon color science is what people rave about. I'm gonna let you know in a little secret, okay? The same preset that I built for the Canon photos is used on the Sony photos, okay? Only adjustments I had to make were just highlight roll-off adjustments, just because image quality, we're still talking about it. The Sony's going to have a little bit better highlight roll-off. It's something about the Sony sensors. They always have a little bit more dynamic range. It just is what it is. As you can see, I'm moving around and Yulia's just doing her thing. And the reason why she's able to do that is both of these cameras just have incredible autofocus. Even for nowadays, 2024, we have all these AI features, and the R3 has better autofocus, and A7R5 has the AI, the A7C2 has AI. My A7CR right here has that AI chip in it. But I'm telling you, even now, 2024, these cameras are still incredibly sharp and incredibly fast when it comes to autofocus. And guess what? Both of them are using EF adapted lenses, and the autofocus is still on point. So now I'm gonna get more subjective, okay? I just always feel like Canon cameras have a more of a sterile look, all right? There's not a lot of personality. For me, whenever I'm shooting Sony, I just always feel like the textures of skin, just the texture of the colors, just the texture of the entire image, it has a look to it, a little bit more personality. I think that's also the reason why something like the Fujifilm X100VI is so popular, because it has personality. Leica cameras, when you look at the color science and the texture of the photo, it has personality.
Come up closer. I love, let's play the racket a little bit with the racket, visor.
I would say with the Canon R5, you are getting a beastly photography camera. But to me, it just doesn't have what I would consider personality in the image. Again, give me in the comments. I already know you're gonna disagree with me, but I promise you, I love the Canon R5. I owned it, and I've taken it on so many shoots, you know, when I had it before I sold it, for like 2 years. But anytime I paired it with my Sony A7IV when I got that, I just felt like my Sony A7IV had more personality. But again, that's personal preference. But if you look at the photos, and can I be honest with y'all, like, I know I said that, but when you pair that Canon camera with the right lenses, and to me, that 50mm Sigma 1.4 is such a good underrated lens from the EF side, like nowadays, all right? You get one now, you'll be shocked. It's just, I love the way it looks, all right? So it's sharp enough, but it also has a little bit of a glow. I love the way that Sigma 50mm looks on a Canon sensor. And that is why they need to bring the third-party system. I cannot wait for Sigma to put, you know, a Sigma native RF lens to the Canon R5. I cannot wait to see the results you're gonna get out of this thing. And because it is an older lens, like, it's sharp, but it's not like as sharp as the new stuff is. So it knocks a little bit of that 45 megapixel off, and it gives you a little bit better texture. So in closing, all right, the reason why I even wanted to make this video is one camera obviously is $4,000, the other one is $2,500, but it's so interesting how we just have these camera battles and everything, but if you know what you need in your camera, it's going to get the job done. And even from a photography perspective, it is so hard when photographers ask me, you know, what camera system should I invest into, it is always impossible for me to give them an answer. And the reason why is because, man, Canon and Sony have really good photo cameras. Now, obviously on the video side, we had a different discussion in my larger review. But when we're talking about photos, man, like, you really can't go wrong, man. All of these cameras are good. Nikon has some good cameras. Fuji has some good cameras. If you are a professional photographer or even a beginner photographer, this is a great time. What a time to be alive, okay? There's not really a bad photo camera out there. And what I always tell people, if you're looking for speed, you're gonna have to spend a little extra money. If you're looking for that fast frame rates and like fast readout speeds, that type of thing, you gotta spend a little bit of extra money. But let me tell you something, man. It is so dope that you have all these very prosumer entry-level cameras that can produce such incredible results. And again, man, it is a great time to be a photographer. So please, if you got any value out of this video, if you got any value, entertainment, you like the shots, that type of thing, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. More photography BTS coming, and guess what? I got some cinematography stuff coming too. I got some spec ads that I'm doing, and I have recorded all of the BTS from it. So please, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. I love y'all.